G'day guys, my name's Taz. Just on my way into town, run a few errands. So I thought I'd do the second half of my I love, I hate videos and do the 5 things I hate about my Royal Enfield. Straight off the bat, there isn't actually anything I hate about my Royal Enfield. So this will be more 5 things that I find slightly annoying. 5th is the standard gearing. If you're using your classic 500 around town, the standard gearing and the torque of the bike actually makes it quite nimble. Easy keeps up with traffic in town, despite the fact that it's not a particularly quick bike. It easily keeps up with all but the fastest cars in town. So if you do longer stretches, straighter roads, you probably want to change the gearing to a 19-tooth front, as I've done. This absolutely transforms the bike. The 4th thing I find slightly annoying about my Royal Enfield Classic 500, that's the way that the back drum brake is moulded into the back sprocket. So you've got almost zero option to change the back sprocket. You're forced to change the front sprocket, which is quite annoying. It'd be nice to be able to go down a couple of teeth on the back as well and just fine tune this beautiful cruisability that the 19-tooth front gives you. It leads me to the 3rd thing I find slightly annoying about the Royal Enfield. It's just the amount of work it takes to get into the cases to change the front sprocket. I found, even though some videos show you that you can shift the right hand foot peg, I found that that wouldn't work for me. I had to actually take the exhaust off, the foot peg off, a whole bunch of things to actually get enough room to get that right hand case off to get to the sprocket. So if you're not particularly mechanically minded, it makes it quite daunting, and the amount of work is quite a large degree. Second thing I find slightly annoying about my Royal Enfield Classic 500 is the lack of parts sometimes carried at the dealer. I'm only speaking from personal experience here, and Tasmania actually only has one Royal Enfield dealer. Even then, it's not specific to Royal Enfield, it just carries the models, and they don't carry a lot of spares, so you're often finding yourself ordering stuff from India that you should be able to just drop in and pick up. Hopefully, as time goes by, that dealer will carry more spares, more filters, etc. on the shelf, and that problem will go away. As a subset to that, some of the quality of the parts that you buy from India is not up to par of what you'd expect for a Japanese bike or a Triumph as a British bike, etc. They do the job, but they're often not 10 out of 10. They're a 7 out of 10. The worlds are a bit dodge, or the finishing is a bit dodge. So if you pick up parts from Indian domestic market, sometimes you're a little bit disappointed at the actual quality of those parts. They do the job, but could just be slightly better. Guys, the number one thing I find most annoying about my Classic 500 is the perception you get that they're slow. You can't ride on the highway. You can't tour on one. You can't keep up with traffic. They're poor quality. They're unrideable because they vibrate. They're all incorrect perceptions. You can ride any bike you damn well please to tour. And granted, a Royal Enfield probably needs a little bit more maintenance than some of the Japanese or other British bikes out there. I don't see why you couldn't ride this bike huge distances. The vibration is certainly very obvious, but it does dissipate as the bike runs in. My bike's now got close to 4,000 kilometers on it, and there's almost no vibration. I have to say, this bike, for all the fanfare of it vibrating, has less vibration. The 2018 Harley Davidson Roadster I rode one time, it's certainly got far less vibration than the XS650 I've had, or the Harley Sportster I've had, and a whole bunch of other bikes that I've had. It's never going to be silky smooth like a GS 1200 or something like that, but I certainly wouldn't say that the vibrations make the bike unrideable. You've only got to go back a few decades, and this was a big bike, 500cc. We're so used to 1200s, 1800s, 2.3 litres, 1000cc sport bikes, that you forget that historically most people rode 125s, 250s, 350s, 500s were quite a big bike. So this bike is not unrideable. You can't tour on it. It's completely wrong, and I find that quite annoying that that perception persists. Sure, they might have been unreliable back in the day, but I have had no issues with this UCE engine, and I'd had no hesitation in recommending this bike to people. Guys, my name's REA Daz. We're coming back into Sheffield. That was the 5 things that I hate, brackets, find most annoying about my Royal Enfield Classic 500. Until next time, my name's REA Daz. I'm out.